Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Eric, Lauren, and Stacy with you on this day that we're talking basketball.
Yeah. Woo. Welcome. Join us either at home, WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I'm happy to be back with you guys.
Yes,
We've missed you.
I've missed y'all. I spent a few days filling in on the Good Morning Show, which it was fun to work with Sydney and Christian and Ed. I hadn't seen them in a minute, you know, on air. So, but happy to be back with my
your
crew.
Family.
That's right.
The family right here. So we've got a packed show today, starting off with March Madness and the Sweet 16.
You're going to want to stay locked in with WFMY News 2 because we are your spot for Carolina hoops.
That's right. We have team coverage for you on both the Duke and the UNC games. Tonight, the Blue Devils face off against Texas Tech, and tomorrow, Carolina plays against UCLA.
Our Amanda Ferguson out there with Duke in California, and Kevin Kennedy is in Philly with the Tar Heels. So let's start with Amanda. Amanda, I just can imagine you're enjoying all that sunshine out there in California.
We are on the other side of the country in San Francisco, California, as we continue to cover Duke in the NCAA tournament. The Blue Devils in the Sweet 16 getting ready to take on Texas Tech right behind me in the Chase Center. That's just a few hours away. It'll be Coach K's last Sweet 16. You've heard it all season. It's always Coach's last something as he gets ready to retire, which puts a ton of pressure on his guys. They're young too, so it's got to be a lot to handle. Coach says the mindset right now is all basketball and the opponent right in front of them.
I feel for my guys. They've had pressure put on them that we're not putting on them. Like I tell them all the time, we're playing for us, for you. Since the end of the regular season, and especially the start of the end, I think we're through. We're completely through with all that, and our guys, that's helped them get a little bit more refreshed also.
Duke is in the Sweet 16 for the 28th time since the tournament was expanded in 1975. It's also the 26th time the Blue Devils have been in the Sweet 16 under Coach K, which is the first all-time in tournament history for a head coach. We'll see if they can keep the momentum going and make it to the Elite Eight. But first, Duke and Texas Tech are set to tip off right here again in the Chase Center. That's at 9:40, and you can catch that right here on WFMY News 2. But like they mentioned earlier, Duke is not the only team in the Sweet 16 from North Carolina. The Tar Heels are too. So let's toss it back out to the East Coast where we find Kevin Kennedy covering the Tar Heels.
Yeah, good afternoon from Philadelphia, an overcast Philadelphia. What a day it is out here. Philadelphia right now, I'd say it's probably about maybe 40 degrees and overcast. We're standing in front of the Wells Fargo Center where tomorrow night the North Carolina Tar Heels will take on the UCLA Bruins in what they hope will be another step on their road to the Final Four. We got in late last night. It was about 440 miles, about an 8-hour drive, and I'm happy to say just one bathroom break later, we've made it to the city of brotherly love. We've been looking around today for fans, and whether they're North Carolina fans, Purdue fans, St. Peter's fans, which is just over in New Jersey, or Los Angeles, UCLA fans, haven't seen a lot of activity today. So we decided to kind of go with the plan B, which is, well, let's figure out if there's anything around here in Philadelphia that has a North Carolina connection. We found one. We're going to show it to you later. And in case you were wondering, today, of all days, is National Cheesesteak Day. I feel like we're in a good place for that. So we're going to have that story also coming up. We'll have those stories coming up today at 5 and 6 o'clock. So stick with us, guys, because we're going to be talking a little bit about...
Hey, Kevin.
I know Sean Higgins is with him when that happens. That's a nice move right there. Hey, it's just as important, by the way, that it's National Cheesesteak Day, Kevin.
It really is. And I'll tell you, so we went to two places. There's like 7,500 places where you get a cheesesteak here in Philadelphia. We went to two. We're going to share which one we like the best coming up at 6 o'clock.
Very nice.
We really look forward to that. I love how they said one bathroom break. Clearly, there were no women with him in the
Absolutely.
That's exactly right.
I would have needed multiple. All right, Kevin, we'll check in with you a little later, but we can't forget about women doing their thing in the Sweet 16. Just take a look at the court inside the Greensboro Coliseum. Waxed and it's ready to go. The Lady Tar Heels getting it done. At 7 p.m., the Tar Heels take on the #1 overall seed from the University of South Carolina. And on Saturday in Bridgeport, Connecticut, the NC State Wolfpack will face off with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Tip-off is at 11:30 a.m. So this is just a really exciting time for our fans. So many things to look forward to for this weekend.
It is really, I mean, ACC basketball is the thing in this state, right? It's what everybody follows. Bragging rights are on the line. And I think one of the biggest kind of highlights of the men's tournament is if Duke and UNC keep winning, they will play each other in the Final Four. So that would be huge if that happens. I don't think that's ever happened.
That would be amazing, especially for our coverage too.
Absolutely.
We would be all about it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just love this time of year. I love college basketball. It's so much fun, and like to be able to root for teams that are from North Carolina, where I'm currently living. It's great. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see how Duke does.
I want to see one of your cheers. Give us a cheer.
Oh, yeah,
you know, she's a former cheerleader.
She's like, no, not on the spot.
I gotta think of one.
Right, think about it.
Okay, sounds good.
Think about it.
Well, I'll keep that in mind. Keep this in mind. Tonight, Duke's game will change some programming on air. The game starts at 7, so set your DVRs to record Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy! They will be airing overnight starting at 2:38. Now turning to developing news on the Triad's largest school district. Today, Guilford County School Superintendent Dr. Sharon Contreras and U.S. Representative Kathy Manning announced a $2 million boost for the district. That money comes from federal funding and will support tutoring programs. Representative Manning says students endured significant learning loss during the pandemic and says this money will help get kids back on track.
Ooh, look at those flags just blowing away in the wind. But at least we didn't get all that rain that we saw yesterday, right?
Yeah, this is one of those, the winds are going to keep going on, by the way. We're going to see this start to increase over the next little bit. Let me step out of the way because I got to grab my remote control. I left it over here, sorry. Winds will be picking up as we head into the weekend. Look at these temperatures, though. You see this like 72 in Burlington, 71 in Siler City, Asheboro at 69, 70 in High Point. Comfortable temperatures. We're not really arguing about that, are we? And when you look at the overnight lows, that's not bad. 44 degrees, that's tonight. Partly cloudy, chilly winds out of the west 5 to 10, and then tomorrow we'll make it up to 64, but that's it. You know, we've been warm for a while, so it starts to get cooler. Chance of a stray shower. We're keeping those rain chances at only about a 20% chance. Now, look for the winds, though, tomorrow. That's a 15 to 25 mile per hour wind, and with isolated gusts, maybe even higher. But we should see that both Saturday and maybe Sunday. It might be a smidge better on Sunday. Some clearing back to the mountain communities. Allegheny, Watauga County starting to see breaks in the clouds. The Triad still pretty much overcast. All of the rain with that system that caused tornado warnings for us yesterday, a couple different times throughout the evening, is moving on to the east. So most of that stays off the coast, continues its trek north and east here, and you see that high pressure moves into place. Now that will cool us down as we head into the next couple of days. Here's what your 7-day forecast looks like. That late day sprinkle chance tomorrow, 64 for the high. Then we've got 50s for your weekend. That's 57 and 56. Rain chances are out. Sunday is sunny and breezy and 56. And we'll build back next week. 60s Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, the hottest day at 72, and then 68 by Thursday of next week.
A Triad woman convicted of killing her grandparents is now free. April Barber was granted clemency after spending 3 decades behind bars. She entered prison at 15 years old. She left this morning at age 45. Here's a look at the moment the gates to the prison opened for her. Barber was pregnant with her son when she killed her grandparents with the help of her 29-year-old boyfriend, Clinton Johnson. Johnson died in prison back in 1999. Governor Roy Cooper commuted her sentence on the recommendation of the Juvenile Sentencing Board. We've been told Barber will now begin working as a paralegal.
It's hard to believe, but this is the 4th week of the war in Ukraine, meaning the Ukrainian people have been under attack for a month now. Today, President Joe Biden met with world leaders to discuss ways to stop Russian aggression without escalating the war.
NATO has never been more united than it is today. Putin is getting exactly the opposite what he intended to have as a consequence of going into Ukraine.
NATO leaders also talked about beefing up troops along the eastern flank. And take a look at your screen to see what I'm talking about. NATO plans to send 4 new battle groups to Bulgaria, Hungary, Romania, and Slovakia. They hope this will keep fighting contained and prevent further invasion.
Right now, a large shipment of U.S. military weapons are in Ukraine. White House officials say the anti-aircraft and anti-tank systems arrived yesterday. But despite the boost in arms, the president of Ukraine says his country needs more. Today, he addressed NATO leaders from Kyiv. He pleaded for more military help, and he told alliances they were capable of preventing more deaths. Since the start of the war, up to 4,000 Ukrainian troops have died. The Tanger Center in Greensboro is offering support to Ukraine in an upcoming event. Next month, Chief and humanitarian Jose Andres will provide an update on front lines of the war. The program on April 26 is part of Guilford College's Brine Series. A portion of these ticket sales will be donated to the World Central Kitchen to help feed Ukrainian refugees. We'll be right back after this break. Stick with us. Hamilton the Musical. It's coming to Greensboro this April, and the Greensboro Public Library wants to get on the excitement. And to celebrate, the library is offering a Hamilton-themed escape room for all ages. Multiple library branches will offer the program this weekend and in April. Participants will be trapped in a room full of Hamilton-themed items. In order to win, they must solve puzzles and discover clues to break into a locked box. Organizers say it's fun, but challenging.
Well, because we're the library, we have a lot of books to look through. We have some Hamilton-themed photographs. We have some printed cards and quotes from the musical, and things hidden throughout that might give them clues, maybe referring to lyrics or referring to historical events from that time.
Participants will have an hour to break into the locked box. If you've never seen the musical, no need to worry. The library says you don't have to have any special knowledge about either Hamilton the person or Hamilton the play to partake.
The library has something for everybody. We certainly have a lot of stuff for Hamilton fans, and so trying to make that connection between things people are really passionate about and what we can offer to the community is always exciting, especially for young people. That's the group that I work with the most.
The next Hamilton Escape Room event will be offered this Saturday at the Central Library in downtown Greensboro, but space is limited. For details on how to sign up and what libraries offer this program, just look for this story on our website. Well, keeping with the Hamilton spirit, I asked you on Facebook, if your life was a musical, what would you call it? Tanya Butler says, love is a battlefield. Spicy, right? Ernest Mickens says, lifetime of the iconic warrior. Sean Sigler wrote Secrets and Lies.
Oh my goodness.
John Munn says, who let the dog out? LOL, just kidding. Joy Mott says Survivor. I like that one. And then Marcus Diskel says The Beautiful Struggle. I think that's a good one too. Yeah, there was a lot of love ones too.
Okay,
Did you get a
some
lot
drama.
of responses? I would think a lot of people would like to chime in on
Yeah,
this
there was a
one.
lot of responses. A lot of them were related to like love life, or a lot of people said they picked a song that they like and
Yeah.
would title it after their lifestyle.
So
what,
I was-
what about you guys?
Well, I was talking with Stacy. I have to give credit where credit's due, because I was like, I'm trying to come up with something. You know, I'm like music, and I like. Then she goes, singing in the rain. I said, perfect.
Yeah, 'cause
singing
you're
in the rain.
always singing.
Weather and singing. Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
I
that.
like that.
I think mine would be One Tired Mama.
That's a good one.
Tired mama.
That's like a perfect title.
That's
for you.
literally my life.
Boss baby.
One time.
That's what it is. Because
Boss baby.
Baylor is the boss.
Baylor is the bossiest boss I've ever had in my entire life.
If she starts
love
talking
One
like
Tired Mama featuring Boss Baby. I like that.
Lauren, what about you?
Okay, mine, I thought about this for a while too. Mine would just be called The Unpredictable Tales of Lauren Coleman. Because I feel like my life is unpredictable. I mean, lots of random people, random things happen to me.
love that.
All the time. Funny things, and then even just, you know, some sad things as well.
And
so.
you've lived all over.
I've lived all over, and I've also learned, you know, I've always been like a really strategic person, or like structured. And as I'm getting older, like you can't really be that way. Like life just comes
It's
at you
true.
fast and unpredictable.
that. That
so.
sounds like a Netflix series.
Yeah. Oh, Netflix, if you're watching.
That's
you know,
right.
I'm
Yeah.
looking to break into my acting career. So
We get to
Reality.
feature in it,
Unpredictable.
right?
And you guys
Obviously,
can be featured
okay.
in
A
it
reality
as
show?
well. A reality show.
We would be a good reality show.
We would.
Oh, like the Office version of like the newsroom.
so
be fun.
true. All
the
right,
4 to 5.
that could be another social question. What
Lots of
show
Mountain
would
Dew.
we be? Like if we
Yeah.
had to- Anyway, I digress. We'll be back. Stay there. Well, overcast skies kind of hang with us for a little bit. I'm looking around out here in the weather garden. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. It'll take it probably until overnight tonight, maybe even part of tomorrow. We'll still see the clouds kind of just gradually moving on. Temperatures, though, no arguments here. For the most part, upper 60s to lower 70s. That kind of sums it up for most of central North Carolina. And even at the coastal sections, we're kind of seeing the same readings there. Now, when you look at this as a regional situation, an hour by hour heading into the night, the temperatures aren't changing a great deal, right? Anytime we see that blanket of clouds, it usually makes the temperatures pretty stubborn to move very much, even heading into the overnight. So probably dropping down to 60, and you can see that when we get down into the early evening hours. And then as we go into the overnight hours, we'll see some 50s there, and gradually getting into the mid 40s. We think 44 for that overnight low. Now here's the cloud cover, stubborn to go anywhere, right? You can see that maybe toward the Boone area and parts of Ashe and Watauga counties, basically. That's where we're seeing some breaks in the clouds, but lots of rain back to the south. This is a slow moving system, but once we get it out of here, it'll take the rain and storms with it. We're not worried about storms anymore. That's really a coastal thing for the current time. But that high pressure will move in over the weekend, and we just see a little bit cooler weather. Now, the bigger story be the fact that we have winds. So we're kind of seeing the low pressure to the north, winds coming in out of the northwest, high pressure to the south. All that funnels over our area as we head into your Saturday and Sunday. So that means a breezy weekend ahead. There's that partly cloudy sky tonight, 44. Tomorrow, 64 degrees. We do see a chance of a sprinkle in the late day hour. Same situation on Saturday, but cooler, 57 and 56 for Saturday, Sunday. Next week, 60s Monday, Tuesday, a warm 72 on Wednesday, and a chance of rain in 68 on Thursday.
Well, tickets go on sale tomorrow for Garth Brooks' stadium tour stop in Charlotte. The concert is in July and it's finally happening after last year's show was postponed due to COVID. Fans will finally get their chance to hear the country music superstar live. He has actually been in Charlotte in 24 years, and this will actually be his first time performing at Bank of America Stadium. This morning, if you missed it, he was live on the Good Morning Show, and we talked to him about getting back on the road for his tour.
Just the joy in people's faces, and it doesn't have anything to do with Garth Brooks. I think it's got something to do with just being where we belong, and that's together again, putting our arms around perfect strangers, singing the river, singing Friends in Low Places. It's a beautiful thing to get to witness.
I got friends in the place. Sorry, I had to do it. I love Garth Brooks. So it's going to be such a huge event, right? So I asked you on my Facebook page, what's the most memorable live event you've ever been to? Chris says a NASCAR race at Daytona. For Mark, it was a Queen concert in Japan in 1982. I can only imagine. Maggie saw Kiss in Charlotte in August 2019. She says it was the best concert ever. And Penny says, Tina Turner and Lionel Richie in concert.
That's huge.
That's big.
Legends.
Two huge names there.
Yeah.
You know, most acts will play the Coliseums, right? The Greensboro Coliseum. Sure. Garth plays football stadiums. I mean, it's like 70,000 people or whatever it is. That's amazing. He is, I'd have to say he's one of my all-time favorite country artists. I did go through, I don't listen to as much country now, but in the 90s when he made it more mainstream, I was listening to a lot of it back then. He kind of got me into that. So I've seen him twice.
Oh, have you?
He's so
That's
good
awesome.
because he engages the crowd. He'll go out and sit down on the edge of the stage, talk to people. It's just so personable.
I love live music and I love concerts. I've been to quite a few, but my favorite memory would have to be the Scream Tour 4 concert. It's hosted by BET. I was in 8th grade. It was my first concert, so it was Bow Wow, Omarion,
gosh.
B5. I was
wasn't
such
Little
a
Bow Wow?
huge.
He had
No,
moved on?
Yeah, he was just Bow Wow then.
Oh, okay, grown up.
Pretty Ricky, and I was in the nosebleeds then, and we actually had binoculars.
Oh
And
my
it
gosh.
was fun.
Did you still get a good look though? With
We
the
got a
binoculars?
great
That
look, but
work?
I have seen Omarion and Bow Wow a couple of times after that, and we were a little closer. So.
Okay, and really quick, I have to say, so y'all know I'm obsessed with One Direction and Harry Styles, so going to their concerts were amazing, but really by far the biggest show, like production put on that I feel like was the best was Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I can see
I
that.
mean, it was a whole production, like the whole thing was just crazy. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
She's a great performer
Yeah,
as
she
well.
Yeah, the performance aspect of it was amazing.
All right, let's turn now to today's DJ moment. Coach Lamont has a serious question for you. Are you living your life to the fullest? Think about it.
If life was a coin that you could only spend once, how has your spending gone? Too much of our lives are spent waiting for the right opportunities to knock on our door. And even when those opportunities show up, we question if they are truly for us. If you can decide where to begin, you have already solved 90% of the problem. You are an enormous value to this world, but in many cases, you won't see exactly how valuable you are until you are willing to spend that time cashing in on the purpose you were created to live. Ask yourself, how long will you waste your time staring at the hill instead of climbing it? I dare you to redefine your life and to take steps to live an extraordinary one. You have it in you, so cash it in today. Your life is ready, and as you spend, your value will increase. This is Coach Lamont reminding you to have your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
6, microphone 6.
Thank you.
SS_ING.
Hi there, folks. Welcome back to the 4 to 5. Eric Chilton with Stacey Spivey and Lauren Coleman.
We're on WFMY News 2, Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFMY News 2 app. And we're also on Facebook. Join us. It's kind of quiet on the live stream. Well, we're going to go ahead and kick things off with your 4 to 5 roundup. Today, Guilford County Schools Superintendent Dr. Sharon Contreras and U.S. Rep. Kathy Manning announced a $2 million boost for the district. The money comes from federal funding and will support tutoring programs. Representative Manning says students endured significant learning loss during the pandemic and says the money will help get kids back on track. A Triad woman behind bars for the past 30 years, convicted of killing her grandparents, is now free after being granted clemency. She was released from an Anson County prison earlier today. Barber was pregnant with her son when she killed her grandparents with the help of her 29-year-old boyfriend. That was Clinton Johnson. Johnson died in prison back in 1999. Governor Roy Cooper commuted her sentence on the recommendation of the Juvenile Sentencing Board. We're told Barber will now begin working as a paralegal. Wet n Wild Emerald Point officially reopens in less than 60 days, and it's looking for more than 600 employees. Next Saturday, on April 2nd, the park is hosting its first job fair of the 2022 season. It runs from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Several positions will be available, and the pay rates up to $13 an hour. Those that attend the job fair will be able to apply, interview, and accept jobs on site. And the park is also entering all job applicants into a raffle for $100 Amazon gift cards and free tickets. Today, the Greensboro Grasshoppers held an in-person hiring event at First National Bank Field in Greensboro. There were a slew of positions available, including servers and ushers. The event ran from 10 to 2 p.m. For more information on hiring opportunities in the Triad, just go on over to our website. That's WFMYnews2.com.
Amid the war in Ukraine, there's a heightened risk of cybersecurity attacks here in the U.S. And with this, there's a growing need for people trained in cybersecurity.
You don't need a whole lot of skill to launch an attack, but you need a whole lot of skill to stop the attack.
Cybersecurity programs at UNC Greensboro aim to give students the necessary skills to protect our country's technology. They currently have undergrad, master's, and post-baccalaureate programs. Dr. Kane Smith created the curriculum just 5 years ago. The first class started in 2019 with about 30 students. Now they have 100 students just in the cybersecurity class. Dr. Smith says while their program is growing, they could triple the sizes over the next 10 years every year, and there still wouldn't be enough professionals to meet the current demand.
We do not have enough cybersecurity professionals. There are literally millions of unfilled jobs in this area. There is simply not enough talent and enough qualified individuals.
To be in the post-baccalaureate program, Dr. Smith says you don't need any prior experience in the field. He says it's a year-long online program with students expecting to make anywhere from $60,000 to $90,000 right out of the gate. With just some experience under your belt, he says you're probably looking at a six-figure job.
The salary for cybersecurity, especially once you get experience under your belt, sky's the limit.
And there are also several other North Carolina schools of cybersecurity certificate and degree programs, including ECPI, UNC Charlotte, and NC State.
All right, so where do I sign up?
That's right.
for this class.
I love tech stuff anyway. I think that would be really interesting to take it, even if you aren't going to take it as a career. That's fascinating to me.
The demand for it, like just hearing him talk about how all these jobs are open across the U.S. because this is such an important thing to think about. It impacts every single one of us.
One of the big things I thought about was the Great Resignation. We have all these people who are getting out of certain job fields, and when you can get this degree online, if you're looking to transition, this is something that you could do in the meantime while you work your current job, and then slide your way onto that $60,000 to $90,000 straight out the gate.
That's what I was about to say. Is like, what career do you know of where you only do a year of training and you can make that kind of money to start? I mean, that's amazing.
And there's the UNC Charlotte's program is less time than that. It's like 6 or 9 months.
Wow.
And you get this certificate that's equal to a degree to help you do anything really you want to in that career field.
There's no company that doesn't need a cybersecurity.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. Everyone needs that. And it's just, there's so much room for growth because there's so many jobs available, so you'll never be without a job.
That's exactly what he said. There's always going to be a need. As long as there's technology, there's going to be a need.
Yep.
Well, you're going to want to stay locked in with WFMY News 2 because we're your spot for Carolina hoops.
Tonight, Duke takes on Texas Tech in San Francisco. That game tips off at 9:39. And tomorrow out in Philly, it's UNC versus UCLA. They also get started at 9:39 p.m.
Right now, our crews are in both Philly and San Fran, bringing you more of the action. That'll be coming up at 5 o'clock.
The Lady Tar Heels are here in Greensboro for their Sweet 16 matchup against the University of South Carolina. The last time Greensboro hosted NCAA women's tournament, that was back in 2019. Businesses in the area, they say they're ready for it.
We're hoping it impacts business very well. We don't see too much traffic, not compared to the men's, but we're hoping that this year, since there's going to be a couple good teams playing, that it'll bring in a lot more people.
The Greensboro Convention and Visitors Bureau says they expect the tourney to bring in $1.9 million. The court at the Greensboro Coliseum will look a little different this year. There are 2 games on Friday, 1 on Sunday. As we mentioned, first up is the North Carolina Tar Heels versus the South Carolina Gamecocks. Tip-off is set for 7. It's the first time the official March Madness logo is being used for the women's games.
And keep in mind, tonight Duke's game will change some programming on our air. The games start at 7, so be sure to set your DVRs to record Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. They will be airing overnight starting at 2:38.
It's a big time. Everybody's excited about this. A buddy of mine called me today and he goes, hey, he got mixed up. He goes, hey, Carolina's playing at the Greensboro Coliseum. And I think he thought it was men's, and I was like, the women's here, Carolina and Philly, the men's in Philly. So.
It definitely would be a lot cheaper if the men were playing here.
It's, I tell you, the impact, the economic impact of any ACC tournament is such huge. Any sport, really.
And by cheaper, I mean the travel, like taking out the commute.
Yeah, not the tickets.
Not the tickets.
That'd be so fun to be covering that here. Oh, my
Absolutely.
goodness. And then we also want to mention NC State, their women are playing Saturday morning. And they're in, I think, Connecticut to play. But just a lot of excitement right now when it comes to basketball. I cannot wait to watch the games.
It's fun.
Tonight.
I'm looking
I
forward
love
to
basketball to watch because the game can change in like 2 minutes.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Or in the last few seconds, it can
Yes.
change. We could keep going into overtime. Someone just has to make a 3 and,
That's right.
you know.
There was a time, there were 17 seconds left, Carolina versus Duke, and Carolina was down by 8, and they ended up tying it going to overtime.
Wow.
and winning. 17
Those
seconds.
make the best games, though, because then everybody's on the edge of your seats.
Because when someone's so far ahead, like they're totally winning, then it's not fun to watch.
That's true.
Unless it's your team.
Yeah, that's true.
Very cool.
Yeah, and don't forget, we have Amanda Ferguson. She is covering Duke in San Francisco, and Kevin Kennedy, he is out in Philly covering UNC.
Yep, we'll have that in just a little bit. All right, moving on to something else here. Imagine that you're 12 years old and you're faced with a life or death situation. Would you have made the right choices? One Triad kid had that exact situation, and his actions may have saved his neighbors' lives. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey was at his school earlier today where he got a very special surprise. Jalen?
Yeah, Jameer Ricker, he was home alone when his family's apartment caught on fire February 25th. After he called 911, he went to each unit in his building to make sure all his neighbors got out safely. Today, the Greensboro Fire Department and Jameer School honored the young man for his heroic effort.
My house is on fire.
Okay, what's the address on Montrose?
I don't know.
Do you live in a house or an apartment?
apartment.
With that single phone call, 12-year-old Jameer Ricker not only saved his family's apartment, but also the lives of his neighbors. On Thursday, the Greensboro Fire Department and his school had a very special surprise for Jameer.
So we're here today to honor a young man, Jameer, who the night of February 25th called in a structure fire. He attempted to put the fire out, but was unable to because he couldn't find an extinguisher. So he did the next best thing, which was call 911.
Surrounded by his friends and loved ones, Jameer received an Exceptional Civilian Service Award from the Greensboro Fire Department, plus a free trip to one of our North Carolina amusement parks.
What has been your favorite part about the day so far?
When I got told I was going to Carowinds, I'm feeling surprised and emotional. Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure on that little guy, and he handled it fine.
Absolutely. So brave, too.
12 years old.
To think to go out and do that, to knock on each door, that's really brave. I bet his parents are super proud.
Yes, oh, so sweet. Just hearing him actually getting kind of emotional about it too, you can tell like it meant a lot to him to be able to help other people. So who knows, maybe he has a future in being a first responder.
It's interesting that that's the age, the tween age is when kids start to transition from kids to young men, young women, and the mindset's different. I'm watching my son, he'll be 12 in a couple weeks, and I'm seeing that maturity level start to shift and everything changing, so he's ahead of the game.
He definitely
Great
is.
story, Jalen.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, we have to talk about a forecast here. Will we see breezy conditions this weekend? The answer is yes. And temperatures are going to cooperate for today, but we'll get cooler tomorrow. Actually, some of the readings that we see more in our mountain and foothill communities, those will be like high temperatures for us tomorrow. So look for mid-60s. But for right now, 72 in Burlington, 68 in Greensboro and Winston-Salem. High Point, you're at 69. We have 67 in Lexington and Asheboro at 68. Dropping down to about 44 tonight. Not all that bad. We've seen cooler temperatures than that. Partly cloudy and chilly. Winds only 5 to 10 today, but that's changing heading into Saturday. Just the way that the pressure gradient is kind of lining up in the atmosphere. We'll see the winds up to 15, gusting up to 25 tomorrow, mostly out of the west. It'll be a cooler day. Can't rule out a stray shower that may be more like an afternoon 20%. We're going to keep that in, I think, for Friday and into Saturday. This front takes its time to clear us, that's for sure. We do see a little bit of clearing in the Boone area, and gradually that will overspread as we see all this mess. Thank goodness, good riddance to that. That's part of that storm system that caused those multiple tornado warnings yesterday. High pressure moves into place. It'll clear us out for the most part. Again, that's kind of a slower process, so we'll still see some clouds a little bit on your Friday and Saturday, but Sunday looks all sunshine. Winds hanging in, though, as we head into your weekend. Here's what it looks like with your 7-day, the long-range outlook. 64 on Friday. That's a 20% chance of a late-day pop-up shower. Not a big deal. Same story Saturday, but cooler at 57. Notice the lows go down to 30s again, mid-30s for Sunday morning and Monday morning. Highs on those 2 days, although we'll see more sun than not, 56 on Sunday, 60 Monday, up to 64 on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, that's where we top out temperature-wise. 72 degrees, the normal high is 64, and we'll still be in the upper 60s on Thursday with a 30% chance of a shower.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together. Healthier, shinier hair? Fewer wrinkles to deal with? Stronger, longer fingernails? Yes, please, to all of the above. Don't we all want these things? I mean, they make you look younger for sure, right? I remember eating Jell-O to help with my nails when I was a kid. Anybody else do anything like
I
that?
didn't know that was a thing.
Like the gelatin was supposed to help. Now, I also remember, Stacy, you might know this too.
Oh, okay.
My mom used to tell me, well, your hair will be curlier or straighter if you eat the sides of the bread, the crust of the bread.
No
Never
way.
heard of it.
No?
That's a
funny.
trick.
That's a good trick.
That's a trick, but that does not work, people. Like, okay.
You were
that
eating
does
all
not
the
work.
crust there and
I was
not
like,
the
I'm
inner.
going to eat all the crust on that peanut butter and jelly. And did my hair do what I
hilarious.
wanted it to do? No, it did not.
That's funny. I love it.
No, I never have heard of that. I've always taken that hair, skin, and nails, the vitamins, especially after if you're a mom, you know, the postpartum hair loss. Like I was taking every vitamin I could think of to make sure my hair would grow back.
Biotin, I've taken that, and then also rice water. That's good. It has a lot of proteins in it, and that's good. You don't want to spray too much because too much protein is bad, but I've made a rice water mixture and like massaged it throughout my skin.
I'm just here.
Collagen too.
You're just here.
I'm just here to fill this block.
He's like, y'all just talk
This
away.
little block right here.
This has nothing to do with you. Okay.
Yeah.
I also heard you put collagen, which I tried this. You put collagen in your coffee in the morning. And that's supposed to help with hair and
Now,
skin.
too much of anything, like you said, can be a problem, right? And when you get those vitamins for whatever's happening right then and there, that is okay too. But they're talking about if you're thinking it's going to turn back the hands of time. Yeah, no. Store shelves are full of supplements that promise to improve your hair, nails, and skin through the aging process. But I gotta tell you, just because something is sold at a store doesn't mean that it's safe.
Dietary supplements are not tightly regulated by the FDA. They might contain substances not listed on the label, or they might contain more or less of an ingredient than promised.
If you choose to take supplements, Consumer Reports suggest you choose one whose contents has been verified or certified by one of these four groups: U.S. Pharmacopeia, ConsumerLab.com, NSF International, or UL. Look on the bottles for the seals or the names. Now, most supplements contain ingredients like vitamins A, C, E, coenzyme Q10, and also biotin, which is a B vitamin. Hair supplements often contain manganese and selenium, as well as fatty acids like fish oil and flaxseed oil. Experts say there's no good evidence that taking these supplements will help with normal aging-related hair loss or nail damage or even give you healthier skin. So what is the answer? They say drinking plenty of water, eating a balanced diet, and avoiding too much time in the sun.
So-
It seems too simple, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is this like a scam then?
Well, I mean, supplements are not regulated, right? And I think it was very big when she says, you know, if you don't have those four different kinds of companies or seals to look at, you don't really know how much is in something or how much it isn't in there, right? Because it's not regulated.
I've always felt skeptical about all that stuff. You know, just like the supplements does this, that, and the other. I don't know. I just don't. I think age does what it's going to do, and there's only so much you can do, you know.
For aging, for sure, but like what you said, because after pregnancy and stuff like that, losing hair,
Or
so
stress.
stuff like that, or stress, I do think that they can supplement at one time, but the doctor's always going to tell you, just eat a better diet so that you get all of those nutrients the way that you're supposed to get them. So we just say this to just make you think about, hey, what are you putting in your body? Look at those four different seals and make sure that you're getting as much regulation as possible so you know what you're putting in your body.
So hold on one second. I'm just gonna go over here. You said water? Here we go.
All the water.
Nice.
I know. Hydration is like a huge thing for all the things, right? It makes your skin more elastic and glows. It makes your hair better, makes your nails better, makes everything better.
Lauren and I are in trouble.
Yes.
Makes your system
Mountain
work
Dew.
better.
And you don't have to just have the liquid water. You could do tons of fruits and vegetables that have a lot of water
So
in them.
I guess Diet Mountain Dew doesn't help me a bit.
No,
That is
no.
not
I don't
helping you.
think
That is
so. Out of
helping
your
your
diet.
teeth,
Well,
Eric Chilton, your
I'm out.
teeth. That's my issue right there.
Drink more water.
Drink
Diet.
more water. Drink more water. He's dying.
Overcast skies for the most part heading into the evening. Temperatures are comfortable though out here right now with just my normal suit. It's really nice, just kind of a light breeze. That'll get worse heading into the weekend, but for now, we're in good shape. We're seeing mostly upper 60s, some lower 70s in Burlington. To the south though, you can see Asheboro and Lexington both in those upper 60s. It's comfortable out here. Now the winds will start to pick up. Just a little shift in the pressure gradient across the area will mean that the winds will be pushing more out of the west. Tonight only 5 to 10, but by your Friday you're looking at up to 15 miles per hour, gust higher closer to 25. Temperatures for lows tonight we're in the mid 40s and highs tomorrow in the mid 60s. Cloud cover, a little stubborn to leave. We're seeing breaks in the higher elevations of the mountains, but all of this will gradually move off the coast. It's just taking its sweet time to do so. Most of the rain stays coastal sections for now, and then this high pressure comes into play, and that will bring better sky conditions, that's for sure, once we can get through the first half of the weekend, but temperatures will cool down. 57 on Saturday, 56 Sunday. We'll keep a 20% chance of a sprinkle in late day. That's Friday and Saturday. Monday, partly cloudy, 60. Tuesday, mid 60s. And then Wednesday, the warmer day with 72 degrees. Slight rain chance Thursday and highs at 68.
Tonight.
Right.
Tonight. We are.
So we set ourselves on fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, hello. Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan.
We can go higher than the sun.
Yeah, they've never heard of it. So
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are live in San Francisco, California, covering.
I think we did, and I think we have a fan at the top.
Yeah, can you hear me? How's everything sound? We're outside the Wells Fargo Center. Had a very blustery day.
Something remarkable happened this week. The State Health Department ended its daily reporting of COVID-19 data. Something remarkable happened this week. The State Health Department ended its daily reporting of COVID-19 data. It's been updating this dashboard every single day for 2 years. I've been making graphs with this data for just as long. Around the time the pandemic started, my bosses gave me the task of analyzing the numbers every day and then sharing them with you in a digestible way. It was something I enjoyed doing because it helped me to better understand the trends too. I certainly didn't expect it to last as long as it did. Over the past 2 years, we have gone through some incredible highs and lows when it came to our COVID numbers. Every day was a challenge to figure out which was the most important information to share with you. Over that time, I've had a lot of viewers reach out to me about my numbers presentations. Some criticized me for promoting a pandemic they didn't believe in, but the vast majority of people told me how much they appreciated the daily updates, and I thank them for that. State leaders now say we've gotten to the point where daily updates just aren't necessary anymore, so they transitioned to reporting the numbers on a weekly basis. That means my daily assignment has also ended. As I was telling coworkers about the end of the daily updates, most asked whether I was happy about it. My answer was both yes and no. I think I'll miss it some because it's become a part of my daily routine and my duty as a journalist. But I'm mostly happy about it. It has been a long 2 years, and I'm looking forward to putting this chapter of our lives behind us. We're approaching that light at the end of this long, dark tunnel, and I'm certainly ready for it. That's just my 2 cents. And your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now. April Barber is a free woman. After spending the last 30 years in prison for killing her grandparents, Governor Cooper granted the Wilkes County woman clemency. Her lawyer says she deserves it.